your host, Owen the Brinkhead. Thank you everyone, thank you. Welcome guys, to another episode of OZD Movie Reviews. I am your host, Owen the Brinkhead. Thank you for allowing me to review movies in your living rooms or anywhere else once again. Today, I'm going to review a horror movie. Today I'm going to review the latest horror gem. It is a movie called Late Night with the Devil. This movie is directed by really talented Australian directors, Colin and Cairnes, and this movie stars a great talented American actor named David Dastmalchian, with the rest of the cast from Ingrid, Torelli, Laura Gordon, and Ian Bliss. A live television broadcast in 1977 goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living rooms. So we got a new found footage independent horror film that basically takes perspective of a tape of a 1970s TV show gone wrong. I love this concept. That is an interesting concept going in, where it mixes demonic possession from a lot of horror movies, but put it in a very unique twist of a found footage film. I am interested in it. And this is directed by these Australian directors that are actually from Melbourne. Basically, like, an hour where I live. And I just find it really cool that we get to see these Melbourne filmmakers do a film like this. They filmed this movie, if you are familiar with Melbourne or Victoria, they filmed this movie at a place called Dockland Studios, which is literally like, I would say like 40 minutes away from my house. And I thought that's really cool they film at a place that you basically know. But from the concept of the film, the trailers, it actually really did intrigue me. So I was excited for this film. So I went to see this movie at a preview screening at a Q&A with where we get to meet Carmen and Colin Cairnes. And I thought that's really freaking cool meeting these guys after seeing the film, because man, these directors deserve to do more stuff, because man, Late Night with the Devil is absolutely so far my favorite horror film of this year. And I would say one of the most unique horror films that I've seen in a while. Because this is a found footage film, and normally found footage films have been pretty mixed. This found footage aspect is actually very unique. It takes from the perspective, like I said, of a broadcast live tape of this night show gone wrong. And you really feel like you're actually watching this late night talk show literally on the big screen. It doesn't feel like you're watching a movie in a way. It feels like you're actually watching an episode of Night Owls, which is what the show is called. And I just thought the perspective of this film is really well done. Like during the show, it looks like you're actually watching a tape. And there's even aspects from behind the scenes where it cuts to commercial. And you get to see this black and white behind the scenes of what is actually happening behind the show that's happening. And I just thought this movie is very creative when it comes to the found footage aspect. Also, David Dastmalchian. Man, he needs to be in more leads, because man, this shows that he can play a lead so well. He basically plays two different sides in the film. When you see him in the night show, he is basically 1970s Jimmy Fallon. He is charming, he is kind, he is very optimistic, but when you see him behind the scenes, he is a broken and dark character that all he wants is to basically boost his show back on top, because his show, of course, is in competition with Johnny Carson, and his show isn't doing well, so he decides to do this Halloween episode with demonic possession to basically boost the show up, and of course it goes horribly wrong. And you are with David Dastmalchian in this film, and I thought his performance in the film, playing two sides, is phenomenal. This is definitely one of his better performances that I've seen, and he needs to be in more lead roles. You just feel so convinced that he is this late night talk show host. The way he acts, the way he speaks, you feel like he's actually a real life night show host. He's very convincing in this film. I would say also the rest of the cast in the film, the guest that Jack Delroy brings out, yes, Jack Delroy is David Dastmalchian's name. Man, every single guest he puts on his show, when things happen, man, they are great. Especially this possessed girl named Lily. Ingrid Torelli, hopefully I said her name right. She is one of the most creepiest characters that I've seen this entire year. Not when she's just like demonic possessed and stuff. She's creepy enough at that, but even before, there was a moment in this film where she's looking at the camera, like, devastating and creepily. And I was, oh my god, I was terrified. It just sent shivers down my spine. That's how creepy Ingrid's performance is, but she is fantastic in this film. Also, Laura Gordon is really good in this film, the woman that actually helps Lily in this situation. And also she believes in demonic possession. You get her side with the story. She's great in the film. Ian Bliss, though, who plays this basically hypnotized guy, man, he is an absolute asshole in this movie. He's one of those people that believes that all the stuff that happens on your show is fake and stuff. And man, he is one of the most unlikably awesome characters of this year. Like, you just love to hate him, and Ian Bliss does a really good job playing that character. But yes, there is a lot of creepy and horrifying shit that happens in this film. And it's not because it's just jump scares and jump scares. This film has none of that. It's just the whole atmosphere is what that's creepy about this film. The film takes its time, and when things start happening, you feel like you're on the edge of your seat the entire freaking time. And what I like about this film as well, it goes from horror scenes, and then it takes a break. Then it goes from horror scenes and takes a break. It lets you breathe out a couple of moments. Because the horror moments in this film, each moment is fucked up. It is terrifying, and that's what's great about this movie. It balances horror and calmness really freaking well, and Colin Cameron's direction with this film is fantastic. Do I have issues with the film? I have a couple. It's more of like slight nitpicks, but I don't really care too much about it because this film is obviously a film that could end up on my favorite movies of the year also. But yes, there are some elements of this film where the effects are a little bit off. Yes, this is a low-budget film, you can tell. But some of the effects of the film, it looks very noticeable. Like, there are some electricity effects that looks like you're actually watching Ghostbusters in a way. It makes it look a little bit goofy. Also, this film is also AI generated. This film has AI generated images in the film, which I didn't notice until people are talking about it, and I have watched it for the second time before this review to make sure I have the same opinion, which I did. But you do notice a bit of that, and it doesn't bother me too much, you just do notice that. And also, even though I think the ending is very devastating, it is a little bit rushed. It kind of goes, you know, done, this happened, credits. And I feel like it could have a bit more explanation. But all those aside, guys, this movie is a great twist on found footage and demonic possession, and those two elements really work well together in this film. Late Night with the Devil is a very creepy found footage horror film that has a clever found footage element where it takes place in this broadcast late night show from the 70s, and it looks like you're actually watching an actual late night show from the 70s. It's very convincing. David Dastmalchian needs to be in more lead roles. He is phenomenal in this film. He's fantastic in the film. Also, the rest of the cast is great, especially the one that played Lily. She is so creepy in this film. The atmosphere is terrifying. Each moment gets more intense, and then it gets fucked up. But the film is definitely an entertaining watch, especially if you're creative horror fans out there. This is one of the most creative horror films that I've seen this year. This is definitely my favorite horror film of the year so far, and hopefully it stays there, because I gotta say, go see Late Night with the Devil on the big screen. So guys, that is my review for Late Night with the Devil. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below, and what is your favorite found footage film of all time? Let me know that also in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media lists down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Ladies and gentlemen, in your living rooms today, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of OCD Movie Reviews, and you guys have a nice day.